Hi, it's Joel here again, and this is a quick video to show how I export a project in After Effects into a single video file. There are two ways that you can do this. You can do this by rendering it within After Effects by going to Composition and choosing Add to Render Queue. The other way is going to Composition and adding it to Adobe Media Encoder. Two different ways. Now, Adobe Media Encoder is a separate program that ships with Premiere and After Effects, and I have found through trial and error that the students seem to be able to get Adobe Media Encoder easier than the sort of minimalist display that you get with Render Queue. So when everything's done and checked and ready to export as a movie file, go to Composition and choose Add to Adobe Media Encoder Queue. So we'll click on that, and then up pops a new program. So this is Adobe Media Encoder. The version I'm using right now is the 2017 one, and it adds a project here, which we've just put in. It gives you three different things. It gives you the format it's in, which in this case is H.264. That's the one I like to use. And then it gives you the preset. Now there are hundreds, well not hundreds, there's at least 50 different presets depending on the device that you're expecting it to be seen on. What I always tend to use is the YouTube one, the one that was already up there. So it's right at the bottom of the list. I could go 1080 since it was a video that was 1080p, but the files tend to be quite big, and 720 is just fine for streaming video for a school project. So that's the one I tend to use, YouTube 720 HD. So that will give it a certain quality. You can see there as I hover over it, it gives me the stats as far as the bit rate and what kind of audio it's using and how many passes and that sort of thing. Very technical. And over here, the H.264, that will give me an MP4 file, which is what I want. Now I also need to click on here where it says output file. I need to specify where I want to save it and what I want to call it. So we'll just click on this blue line here, and we're going to save it in the school logo folder. So I'm going to save it here, and I'm going to call it AE logo finished. Press save. Now that hasn't done anything yet, that has just saved that option there. So now we know exactly where it's going to go, we know what the preset is, we know what the format is. All we need to do is press play for it to start. Now, I won't lie, it does take a while, and depending on your machine, it will be faster or it will be slower. My machine's a fairly standard one, being at a school or a state school as it is. So mine's going to take a little while. So through the magic of editing, I won't leave you hanging. We will just cut back until we are ready to go. Okay, so we're back now, and you can see that I've got a green tick that says it's all done. And if I jump to the folder, which I've saved it, which is here, you can see the AE logo finished video. There it is. It's at a nice 9 megabytes for a 4-second file. That's quite acceptable considering that the quality is still very good. And that's how you export a project from After Effects into a folder using Adobe Media Encoder. Thanks for listening.